I've got the usual 3 and 5 pound weights today. We're focusing on legs. We'll make sure to get the whole body involved at various points today, but mostly a lower body focus. Once you're all set up on your space, come take a stance, nice wide legs, arms down by your side. If it feels okay, close your eyes and take a moment here. As you find this big stance, welcome yourself to this 45 minutes for Triple B. Enjoy a few breaths in and out, cleansing, bringing you more present to this moment. Be mindful through today's movement. Take the things that work for you, modify the things that need to work a little bit differently. Always take things out that don't work. With that in mind, reach the arms up to the sky, open the eyes, nice full breath. Exhale, forward fold, touch down to the floor. Bit of a straddle stretch here. Let the head relax. And then heel toe the feet just a little bit wider apart. Walk the hands all the way over towards one side. Bend that knee more towards a lateral stretch. Pick up the opposite heel and sit even a little bit lower into a squat here. Hands can go out or stay on the ground. This one's always creaky and hard at the first. Take your time with it and then walk your way over to the other side. Stay with both feet flat on the ground at first. Bend the knee closest to the hands. And then change to sit lower. Pull up the opposite heel. I'm kind of pulling on my mat to help me sustain. Whatever works. Go back to your center into that wide-legged forward fold. Goddess squat, turn the knees out, turn the toes out, bring the elbows to the thighs. And then make your way all the way back up to standing and heel toe the feet together. A little bit of a shake. Pick up the right leg in, take it out to the side and down. This gatekeeper a few more times. In, out, and down. Go the same direction. And then switch directions, same leg. But now you're going out, in, and down. Warm up the hips. And we'll switch sides. Whoops. Start in, go out, and around. I've got my hands out just because it's where I'm preferring. You could always hold on to a wall or a chair. Leave the hands down, whatever works best for you. Go the opposite way. Good, just a little bit more warm up in the legs here. We're kicking. Just the right leg kick forward and kind of like a little ball change back. Not worried about how high this is going. About hip height is good. Great, let's switch sides. Just always important to get that blood flowing. Body's starting to warm up before we put in any resistance work or things that are complex in movement, harder on the joints. All right, let's just kind of give it all a little bit of a shake and make your way to the back end of your space. Lift the arms up to the sky. We'll get the whole body involved now with this warm up in our triple B sun salutations. Walk it out to plank pose. We're going right to plank here. And from plank with either toes or knees, 4 push-ups today. Down and up. Stick with your full range of motion. Use the knees when it doesn't happen on the toes. And then 8 cross mountain climbers. Right knee towards the left elbow, left towards the right, back and forth. 8 times, not super fast. Step the feet forward for your squat. Stand all the way up. Slow down, slow up. Think a count of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. One more here. Touch down to the ground. Step back to plank. Walk the hands to the toes. Nice stretch there in the back of the hamstrings and then stand up. We'll do it 2 more times. Fold over. Walk it out. Plank pose. 4 push-ups. If you're like, that's the no for me, then it's a hold of plank on hands or forearms. 8 mountain climbers cross underneath you. Step to the front of the mat, stand up. Quicker now. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and 1, hands down. Walk the feet back, little pause. Walk the hands to the feet, really find a stretch to the back of the legs as you walk the hands to the feet. And stand all the way up. 1 more time through this triple B sun salutation, touch down. Walk it out to plank. 4 more push-ups. Options to hold plank on hands or forearms here. Mountain climbers, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Body weight squat, have the feet outer hip distance apart, toes, knees face straight ahead. Keep the chest lifted the whole time here. Nice squeeze the glutes, push the hips each time you come to that top end of the squat. And hands down, walk it back. Slow crawl, hands to the feet. Stand up. Release the arms down by your side. Much like the beginning of the class, if it feels okay, let the eyes gaze low or close. Take it in. And shake everything out. With the mantra of letting go for triple B this month, my frame of mind is letting go of that fitnessy, no pain, no gain mindset. We can do great work for ourselves in this functional strength training without overexerting. So be mindful of when you need to pull it back, but I've already pulled it back a little bit for us, as I did last week as well, with all of the functional work in the shoulders. Here, I want you to pick up the biggest weights that you set down. I'm starting with 5s in each hand. Good old squats, so more of what we were already doing, but now we're just adding weights. I'm gonna hold it right here at the chest. Other options are to place these at your hips or even straight down in front of you. And I've got 10 pounds total. If you wanna go a little heavier and have something heavier, I'm sure this is the one to do it with. Okay, we're simply down and up. Take your time here. Go 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So nice and slow through the front weighted squat. With the weights, whether you've chosen them here at the chest or along the hips or down in front, all of those directions are going to pull your chest a little bit down and forward. Try to keep the chest a little bit up and back. So don't give in to the weights. A little bit more here. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Just continuing to warm up, get into the body, work with the knees, the hips, the ankles, all of the things here that need our grace, especially as we add resistance. Extend the arms down by your side. You can keep holding those same weights. Come more towards the front end of your space. Take your right foot behind you. So I've got my left foot in front, right foot back. A nice bend in this back knee. And then slightly weight forward onto that left heel. So instead of pulling yourself way up and back, it's a slight lean forward, ever so perceptively. Okay, we're holding this. It's static hold first in this lunge. And then once we have a really nice set idea of where we are in this lunge, we're going to add the movement of the back foot, forward and back. Here we go. Step up to it, and you're stepping back into the lunge each time. 1, up, and 2. That thought of the weight staying forward in the front leg should be helpful here. 3, 4, 5, 6, we've got 10 on this leg, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep the right foot forward. Step the left foot back. And again, that static hold first today. I'll often ask us to have this back leg super straight and kind of more up and back in the whole demeanor. Today it's slightly shorter stance, more bend in both knees, a little extra weight in that front heel, still keeping the knee right over the second and third toes. Good to go. Let's step it forward and back for 1. Make sure you're using 2 different lanes each time you step back so the feet stay hip width apart, not trying to come into the tightrope. Better for the strengthening lift of the pelvic floor as well that way. I think I'm on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll come back to all of these movements today. Going on to RDLs, I'm going to just keep holding on to those same weights. Again, left foot starts forward, just tap the right toes back here. And I want to set up the entire upper body first in that bit of a static hold. So as you hinge forward, let the weights be about mid-shin. Think like warrior 3 in the chest where it's long, you're looking a little bit forward and still weighting that front foot. From here, lift the right leg high. This is the static hold of what your low point should look like. And then we're standing fully upright, right foot beside the left in between. Okay, 8 times here. We'll count it 1. And for 2. Hoping that those static holds first. Let us really see where the body is feeling the position, the balance, and then working from there. As this starts to feel really balanced, good for you, challenge yourself by keeping that right foot off the floor the entire time, even as you come upright. And 8. Stand on 2 feet. And then let's figure it out on the second side. So now the right foot stays forward, tap the left foot back, hinge at the hip, have the weights mid-shin. So knowing that this is one modification, this could be the difference, keeping the leg down on the ground instead of lifted. Of course, we can go for the lift of the back leg. And today I've got a deep bend in the front knee the entire time to make it easier to square the hips, shoulders. Okay, we found it. We'll call that 1. Tap the foot in, stand up. And here we are for 2. If I'm moving at a different pace than you, that's totally fine. We're going for 8 here on each side. So find the rhythm. As you move in and out of it, the hips are going to want to open a little bit, compensate and change. Try to really squeeze that front hip in towards the midline. Right side is what I mean. Try to reset if you find you're off balance in the middle. And then come back to stand 2 feet on the mat. Set down the weights for a moment. Have enough clear space on your mat that you can walk from top to bottom without any weights in the way. Come towards the top end here. Extend the arms overhead. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Look out towards the fingertips. Once you find your low seat, again, we're finding that static hold first. Hands could change to hold on to your shoulders for a little bit more support there. Keep them out if this works. Nice engaged in the belly. Okay, and we are walking nice and slow, little steps to the back end of the mat. Just nice and slow. Walk it. Try to stay as low in your legs the entire time. Breathe through. Once you get to the back end, you've got to go back to where we started, up at the top. And do it one more time. Walk to the back end. No rush here. Little steps so that you can stay low in the legs. Each time you step apart, imagine a little lift in the base of the pelvic floor. Draw energy up towards the navel. Once you get back to the top end of your yoga mat, stand up, arms to the sky, and then a little forward fold here. Turn and go into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Step it all the way forward into the low lunge. Lift the right hand high into a twist. Set the hand back down. Step back to downward facing dog. Do it on the second side. Step the left foot forward to your lunge. Left hand high. The foot can just step to the outside of the hands the whole time to make this a little easier to maneuver. You're going back to the first side, right foot forward, right hand high. Set it down, step it back, so just side to side, somewhat slowly here. Three times each side, so I'm coming back to the right side for the third and final time of this round. Down dog. Left foot steps through, left hand high. And left foot back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Lie all the way down onto the belly. And then roll onto your left side. And I'm doing the little Jane Fonda setup with the left hand to help hold onto the neck. Try to stack your legs so that as much as possible you're in one line of your body from your elbow all the way down to your toes. The top hand can be forward to help you some with that balance and support. Top leg lifted all the way up. Again, we're finding that static stretch first, meaning the hold. Try holding on, right hand to the right leg. Notice how the body wants to move and compensate to find your balance. Try, if anything, to feel as though you're falling or rolling forward instead of back. And then we're going to release the leg down. And we're doing good old kicks up towards the sky. Go one and down. And here, instead of just letting the leg release down, think of a slow squeeze each time as you lower. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I tend to do 8 each side anytime we have double, 2 sides of the body to work with. Roll over. You can just roll to the other side. I'm going to even do that here. So back side to the camera is fine. And again, left leg up. Try to hold. The easy thing to do is to let the weight fall back into the seat. Try with a little help of that front hand, offering it more weight to stay as though you would fall forward instead of back. Maybe hold on to that top leg. All that great stabilization work in the body. Okay, and then as we lower down, kick and release. Remembering that that release is as much a part of the work today as the lift. Nice slow release down. For 5 and 6. 2 more here. 7 and 8. Everyone roll all the way down to the belly. Just cobra stretch, and it can be kind of heavy down in the pelvis. Look over your right shoulder. Shrug the left shoulder towards your ear to get in a little obliques, a nice stretch through the long side body. Do it over to the other side, right shoulder, look over the left. Push back into child's pose. And then we'll slowly make our way all the way up to standing. So as you're ready, transition back to standing. And we'll do the whole circuit from the top to the bottom, which starts with the weights. Eventually drops them down to get down to the mat. Feel free to take a moment more, drink of water, reset your space. I'm going to ask for something a little bit different this time in terms of the arms. Stack them at your shoulders. Stack the weights at your shoulders. And here we go for our weighted squats. Down and up. About 2 down and 2 up now, so we're still going fairly slow. Keep the chest lifted, that nice strong squeeze each time that you stand up through the glutes. Breathe and push the air out. Exhale each time you stand. The pace, the not too heavy weights here, all meant to make this more on the doable side. Really great functional movement without making things overly hard for us. One more. Unrack the weights down by your side, turn. Left foot is forward. This starts with our lunge. We'll find the static pose first again. And then just slightly quicker than the first time around as you step forward and back. 1, 2, 3. Be gentle on that step back, even though it's quicker. 6, 7, and 8. Switch legs, right foot forward. Set the length, the width, little bend through both knees. Torso upright, but slightly favoring the front leg for balance and support. Don't let that right hip go out to the side. Keep it tucked in. Great stability work in the abdomen there. And let's step it up for 1, for 2. Great. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Little shake out. Your back, switching over to the left foot forward, right foot back. Hinge forward. Think butt back, chest forward. Option is to set down to a lighter weight or no weights at all here. And we know option is also to keep that back leg down instead of up. Okay, let's go for it. Stand. Extend back. We'll call this one 2, 3. If balance works, try to float the right leg the whole time. 4. Use it, set it back down when it needs that extra check-in. 7 and 8. Switch legs. Set the low point. Find the lift in the back leg. Really measuring, hips square. Look down, just a couple of feet in front of the bottom leg. And then stand all the way up. And we're ready for 7 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weights go down, out of your way. Come stand at the front end of the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose. Hold it here, breathe. Again, hands can be up or hold on to the shoulders for a little bit more ease and support there. I do want you to be able to stay low in those legs and start to walk. I always imagine back in the day, the Thigh Master with Suzanne Summers. I see that infomercial playing in my head as we do this little movement. Squeeze it in each time you step those legs together. We're coming to the front and then to the back. We'll walk back up to the front one more time. Good. Try to look a little more forward, chest upright, and stand up. Exhale, forward fold when you get back to the top end of your mat. Take it to downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up into the air, three-legged dog, and then step it all the way through to your low lunge. Right hand goes up into the twisted lunge. So the elements of all of these exercises that we did today, go back to downward facing dog, and then step the left foot forward, are repeated in the yoga hour sequence that I'm using. So giving our body that little extra resistance in triple B, so that maybe if you practice on Sundays or other days for yoga hour, it all flows a little bit more seamlessly. Again, we're going 3 times through on what I call the perfect stretch here, this whole movement that gets the entire body working and open together. Last time, left side. And then come forward, down to the belly. Roll onto your left side. We're going to do something different for the legs this time. It's the bottom leg that's going to do the work. So as you lie onto the side, then take the right leg over, and it'll just lay there. And you can do this head lift or lie the head all the way down. It might be more comfortable. These are really my favorite little target work. You're using that left leg. Make it like a V shape, up and down, forward and back, like you're trying to make a V shape with that bottom leg. If there's such a thing as targeting muscle groups, which there's a lot of debate about that, this is that upper inner thigh muscle that can be really hard to instigate. So if it gets fatigued quickly, it's because it's hard for us. in our bodies to navigate using just this muscle. We've got a lot of other bigger muscles that take over. Switch to circular movements instead of the V shape. And then go the opposite way. And when they can't do anything else, my leg's about done now. Rest for a moment and then flip it all the way over. So if both legs are stacked, the left leg goes on top now. You are still trying to stay in that straight line. And the left leg comes over. And again, the bottom extended leg is what we're working for. Make the little V shape, up and in, up and in. And these are pretty quick as you can. Trace the V. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then switch to the circular motion. Go one way several times. Good, go the opposite way. Okay, let's release everything. Again, lie back down, just flat on the belly. Cobra stretch. Stretch your upper body, shoulders, and torso here. Sometimes stretching the upper half helps the lower half release. That's what I'm looking for here. Look over each shoulder. And then push back to child's pose. We're going to use our remaining minutes of class to continue releasing, cooling down through the legs. But I've also got a little quick core burst for us. Before we get to that core burst though, place the right foot forward, keep the back knee down, just good old lunge here, helping to give some release through that back hip flexor. And then to extend this even more, I like to come out of the lunge, so I've kind of pulled myself back, and then with the left leg back, take the left arm high, and just reach over to the side. A little different, but a really great way to target that back hip flexor. Switch legs, left foot forward, and then the hips do at first extend forward and down. Now pull the hips back up and back. Take the right hand up, a little bit over to the side, sometimes holding on, opposite hand to the wrist can help increase that. Release, one yogi squat here. In your space, find your feet about outer hip distance apart, almost as wide as the mat, and sit down into your squat. If the hands are free, take them to prayer position right in front of the chest. Still signaling that intention of letting go. The underlying intention being to let live in the present. Making sure this isn't painful as you continue. I ask you to stay a little bit longer, always finding the lift that you need, the support that you need to stay with it. Okay, and then we do get to come all the way down. Lie down onto your back. Take the knees right over the waist, right over the hips, I should say, so it's not forward over belly. It's knees right over the line of the hips with the heels lifted and hands on your knees. Most people call these dead bug. We're going to extend the right leg and the right arm, and then it comes back together. Extend the left leg and the left arm, and bring it back together, and then go quicker. Right, left, right, left. The hands on the knees are there to help you not let the knees come more forward than the hips. This tends to be a really great, safe way to build strength through abdomen, pelvis. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I always think those are kind of sneaky hard. Soles of the feet to the ground. Heel taps or pigeon. Lift your shoulders, head up off of the ground, and try to tap at least your heels, or maybe as far as to the toes as you swing side to side like a pigeon. Keep breathing with it. And try picking up the pace, tapping a little bit quicker. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay the head and shoulders down. We're picking up the legs again, this time straight legs. Hands trying to reach the toes. Lift the head and shoulders again. Toe touches, lift up. Little crunches, up, up. Keeping head and shoulders lifted the whole time, so you're not going all the way down. Just trying to lift higher each time. Of course, anytime hands are extended, they could be crossed over the chest instead. Keep going with these toe touches. You're almost done with the entire workout. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Take the hands out to a T shape. Lower both knees over towards the right side. For this last one, we'll take the static stretch. Just let it be. Take the knees across the center, on over to the second side. And back to the middle. Rack yourself up to a seated position. Give yourself a big hug, right arm on top, a little bit of a twist there. Final little release. Opposite arm on top with the hug. Good. All right, nice work today in Triple B. You are all done. Thanks, Dennis, Angela, Nicole. So good